about a different approach to teaching kids about terror.
Yeah, in this classroom, they actually were saying the word terror. As opposed
not man-made disasters?
Nope, but a lot of parents did not necessarily like this class assignment. So, as parents out there this morning, how would you feel if your freshman, your 9th grader, came home and just on a whim, if they happened to talk to you that night, said, yeah, Mom, my assignment, Dad, was to come up with a terrorist act that would possibly bring down the United States.
Yeah, a foreign nation would perpetrate on America, and a lot of the moms were outraged by this.
And a lot of the dads. In fact, here's one. Here's a parent right here.
Use their creative energies to come up with a plot for an act of terrorism is very ludicrous.
It is ludicrous. And here's the thing about it. If they actually, with this particular assignment, and this all happened out at Pueblo County High School with the 9th grade history class, if the student actually did it, say, for instance, planned an attack on a school, their school, and if in any way they followed through with it, they would have been suspended or expelled. So they give them an assignment and say, okay, make it realistic, but then again, if it's too realistic, you might get expelled.
And when in trouble, blame the kids. Here's the superintendent on what went wrong.
This is what the assignment was for students to illustrate an act of terrorism by a foreign government on U.S. soil. If a student did misinterpret it and actually illustrated an act of terrorism that, let's say, that they might commit, let's say, against the school, we've expelled students for doing that.
Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the problem with society in this day and age. It's the same thing with this Christian fund. Just call it what it is. You're taking the name out because you think it's the PC thing to do. You told kids to do an act of terrorism. Just apologize. Just say that was really stupid on our part.
I'll add this to it. In USC, they went out in 2001, the Bush administration went up to USC and said, you got the most creative people there.
Right.
Come up with different plots that a foreign government use and terrorism, and screenwriters that would be perpetrated against us, because we know that a lot of times that's how reality ends up perpetuating itself.
So we can plan against those scenarios.
So that's the explanation, Mr. Superintendent, not some nebulous gray area where the kids didn't pick up the subtlety of the assignment.
Yeah, and apparently some of the kids were afraid, well, you know, if this is too realistic, I might get investigated by the cops, which is always one of those other things that they got to worry about.
8 minutes after the top of the hour.
Okay, let's get to some of your headlines for a Monday, and we do start with the Fox News alert. We're just getting word now that the Iranian